Greetings IGNers, it's Mark Bozon from the Nintendo team, and I'm here to give you a video review of Dragon Quest Swords for the Nintendo Wii. Pay attention, and all will be revealed.
DQ Swords is pretty much anything but your average Dragon Quest title. It takes inspiration from its plug-and-play roots that everyone was talking about pre-release, and while it looks pretty good visually, it definitely keeps that simple design that we were seeing earlier on. You'll basically step into the role of a kid named Blade who is out to adventure across the lands. He cuts through a bunch of slime and evil folk, and eventually is going to come across the answer to this mystery of the Tower of Mirrors. We're going to keep it pretty spoiler-free though, obviously, but you know, there's a quintessential hero quest going on here where basically you're just out to defeat an evil uprising, whatever it is, and you've got your companions that kind of rile behind you and follow you on your quest. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. It's kept very simple throughout. The game definitely keeps its DQ inspiration, so it feels like a Dragon Quest game, but it also feels like a light version, kind of an entry-level Dragon Quest experience. There's one main town, you've got a small amount of shops, one giant castle where pretty much all of the action happens, and then a small handful of battle arenas that you're going to set out and go on these quests and do. They're completely linear, so you start at the very beginning and you reach the goal, but every once in a while you are going to have areas that split off and you can basically change the outcome of these areas. You'll have a spot that, you know, you have to break with a sword and you can go through, or some areas that are just completely blocked and you have to find ways through, basically from backtracking later on in the game. As far as the combat goes, you're going to walk through these different dungeons and people are going to just pop right out. It isn't random as far as the characters they're going to be fighting and when you fight them, but it keeps that same feel. So you're basically going to walk and then all of a sudden, oh, hey, I'm in a battle, here comes some slimes, and I've got to cut them down with my sword. The combat system is extremely simple as well. You go in, you point at exactly where you want your starting point with the IR, and then you swipe either vertical, horizontal, or diagonally. You can also do a stabbing motion to kind of poke guys back into the backfield like you're seeing here. And then you command your other party members and they handle all your magic. So you can say, you know, oh, I want you guys to attack as much as you want, and then they'll use all their MP up right away. Or you can say, hey, play smart, hang back a little bit more and use it only when you need it. Other than that, you don't handle your party members' customization at all. They have their own equipment, they've got their own experience that they get through gaining levels, and if you don't use a character, they're not going to level up. So aside from that, it's a one-person game, but you kind of have these characters you can bring along as companions. We're obviously painting the picture here that DQ Swords is a simpler title. It's basically, I hate to even say it, but the Wii Sports version of what an RPG would be. Still really fun though. It's only about 8 hours long, so core gamers may not enjoy it as much, although there's some nostalgia factor there. There are some oddities worth mentioning, such as just watching, you know, here when I'm trying to kill these slimes, swing recognition isn't always there. And you're going to see that throughout. Eventually, you know, you get used to the bigger swipes equals, you know, better recognition, but it isn't perfect overall. So you're going to have to deal with facts where, you know, you could kill like 3 guys in a row, but instead you're going to have to kill 2 of them or 1 of them, then move your cursor over and kill the other one again. It's not a big deal, but it does kind of get to be a pain in the butt. That being said, you know, it's still a pretty cool Wii game at heart. You've got a couple different mini quests that you can do where you're fetching these mini medals and you bring in this strange cat here and get unlockables. Then there's also a couple party games and, you know, some replayability that goes through each of these levels. Every time, you know, you beat an area, you can still go back and change your rank and get more items for upgrading weapons. And there's some splitting quests that you can go back and do different areas of each map. So in that sense, it's pretty cool. And there is like a harder mode after you beat the game. But aside from that, it is pretty much an 8-hour experience and you get what you've been seeing this entire time. As far as audio and visual goes, there's a ton of VO in the game, which is pretty cool, and also the animations and just the character designs are really neat. Some of these guys look great when I'm sitting here fighting them, and that's really entertaining to see. On the opposite side, it's Wiimote only, and I think it got to the point where Square was really trying to stress that fact and actually sacrificed a little bit of gameplay for it. You can see I'm walking around in the towns here, and it's all being done with a, you know, D-pad and first person, so I'm bumping into things. It's not always, you know, the most comfortable setup in the world, and it would have been nice to have the nunchuck option if players wanted to use it, but unfortunately it's not there. Nevertheless, Square's first RPG on the system is pretty cool. It's a good game to bring in, you know, ungamers, people that don't know what RPGs are or have never even heard of Dragon Quest. Obviously, if you're a hardcore gamer and you're looking for a 100-hour experience, this isn't it. Overall, it's a really good game. Nothing great there, and nothing that really blows us away visually or on the gameplay department, but it's a cool, well-rounded, polished package. So in that sense, it's a success.
So as you can see, Dragon Quest Swords is heavy on entertainment and excitement, a little low on lasting appeal. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again very soon.